whose pictures have been taken before and after the drug abuse. You see, when he was at the age of 23, he looks quite normal, but you can see how he has changed, even physically also. And this side also the same. The girl before using the drugs, and the same girl or the woman after the drug abuse has totally changed. That means drugs effect has taken a big toll on their body also. Now, we're going to divide the whole content of textbook, that especially the drugs related things, into four categories. And I'm going to tell you on that basis only. Looking at this, the very first type of drugs that are commonly abused is opioids. See, these opioids are the drugs which bind to the specific opioid receptors. That means we have a specific type of receptor cells present in our body. So these chemicals, they go and binds with them. They are like these are the neurons which have capability to hold on to certain types of chemicals, like in this case opioids. So there are these receptors present in our central nervous system, and also they are present in our gut, that means gastro, stomach and intestinal regions. So these, when a person consumes opioids, they tend to go into the brain as well as into the our stomach and the small intestine. And you can see their common names are heroin or smack, which are chemically called as diacetylmorphin. Diacetylmorphin is a chemical name. How it look like? It look like a white in color. It doesn't give much smell, and the taste bitter, and the type of structure is crystalline compound. Opioids, and the opioids have a common name like heroin or smack. And this chemical is obtained by acetylation of a common chemical called morphine. Then this morphine has been extracted from the poppy. You see, this is poppy. So these are the poppy plant, commonly called as poppy plant, and the scientific name is Papaver somniferum. From this plant only, these heads, from which morphine has been extracted, which can be acetylized to form diacetylmorphin, which is commonly called as heroin or smack. And how drug abusers take them into the body? By snorting. You see, might have seen in the movies also, they keep right on the table and they snort. Snort means like a sniff into the nose, or by injection. Heroin is a depressant and slows down the body functions. Commonly, heroin keep the body totally lethargic. So that is how it affects the body. So this is one, opioids. The next one is cannabinoids. These cannabinoids are a group of chemicals which interact with the other receptors in our central nervous system called cannabinoid receptors. They are present in our brain. These natural cannabinoids are obtained from the inflorescence of a plant called cannabis sativa. You see right over here, this is the plant called cannabis sativa. This is how it looks like. Sometimes it is commonly termed as marijuana. You see here, the flower tops of these leaves and the resins of cannabis plant are used in various combinations to produce a chemical called marijuana, hashish, charas, and ganja. All these are the different products that have been coming out of the cannabis plants. This is how cannabis look like. And this plant also, like cannabinoids, like these chemicals are taken by inhalation, like sniffing into the nose, or simply like a chemical we can a person can intake into the mouth, and they affect the cardiovascular system of the body. Cardiovascular, anything that is related to circulatory system, like blood pumping. That means it can fasten the beating of the heart, giving that kind of like a empowered kind of a feeling. So this is about cannabinoids. And here comes the cocaine. Cocaine or coca alkaloid is obtained from a plant called Erythroxylum coca. The one what you're observing right over here, this is Erythroxylum coca. This is how it looks like. And it is commonly found in South America. Now, what about this? How it will affect? It interferes, these chemicals, when it is snorted into the body, what they do is they go and interfere with the transport of some neurotransmitter called dopamine. Remember, dopamine is a neurotransmitter, the chemical which passes from one neuron to the other neuron. So it will stop the dopamine. So cocaine, commonly called as coke or crack, has to be snorted. That means like a small piece of paper is rolled and then this chemical is snorted into the nose. Now, it has a potent stimulating action on central nervous system. Again, it is also affecting the central nervous system, producing the sense of euphoria, and it feels like increased energy. If euphoric feeling or increased energy is all because of the stimulatory action of this chemical. Excessive dosage of cocaine causes hallucination. You might have heard hallucination means like it is a kind of feeling that they are in heaven or like a pleasing place. And other well-known plants with such a hallucinogenic properties are Atropa belladonna and Datura. These are the two common other plants apart from Erythroxylum coca. These are the other plants which have the same kind of a hallucinogenic property. And these days cannabinoids are also being abused by some sports person also. Like I said, sports people tend to take the cocaine to increase their efficiency while they are playing. And here comes the next one. Here comes the next one. Which one? Other abused normal drugs. Drugs like barbiturates, amphetamines, benzodiazepines, morphine. You see, morphine is a normal drug. Is very effective sedative. That means it gives that coma kind of nature, like sedative in nature, and painkillers also, and is very useful in patients who undergone surgery. So these are commonly given to people who are undergone surgery to relieve the pain. Several plants, fruits and seeds having hallucinogenic properties have been used for hundreds of years in folk medicines, especially religious ceremonies also and rituals all over the globe, when these are taken for a purpose other than medical use. So these chemicals which are not apart from medical use, they have been abused. Like use or in amounts like frequency that impairs, that will decrease one's physiological and psychological functions, then it becomes as a drug abuse. These are the chemicals which are commonly used for certain type of remedial purpose. But these medicines have been abused, or it can be sterilized, or it can be taken into the body to make sure that they can be abused and they can be benefited. Like it can be a hallucinogenic, it can be a euphoric kind of a property. So this is all about different types of drugs. Some of them are derived from the plants, especially most of them are affecting the central nervous system. Some are gastrointestinal and also some are cardiovascular in nature. That means they affect the heart beating also. Some of the scientific names have been mentioned here. Try to revise it. Opioids are coming from papaver somniferum. Cannabinoids are coming from cannabis sativa. Cocaine is coming from erythroxylum. Coca. Apart from that, Atropa belladonna and datura are the some common plants which can be giving that hallucinogenic property.